All right, friends, today we're going to talk about what does it take to last in the network marketing profession? Because there's so many people that come and go, never to be heard from again. So we're going to chat about making this a long-lasting, successful career. All right, greetings, you guys. What's up? Todd Falcone here. And yeah, this is a fun subject for me to talk about. I don't know how long I'm going to go in today's episode. I don't think it's going to be one of the shortest ones, but we're going to have a chat about what does it take to make it, not only make it, but last. Like the words I'm thinking, what does it take, first of all, to thrive and survive in the network marketing profession? Because so many people, man, they come and they go. Yeah, and a lot of good people come and go. Lots of good people come and go. A lot of people that probably should have never been involved in network marketing also come here and they don't last. And I don't think network marketing is for everybody. There's a number of things that is required in order for you to be successful and stay here for an awful long time. So in my case, I've been here since the tail end of 1989. I think that's about 36 years, if I'm doing the math properly, right around there. And not in and out and here today, gone tomorrow, back in 2 years, here for a month, gone for 6 years, back for a week. This is all I've done every single day for 3.5 decades. So we're going to go through, I don't think I'm going to number these, but I'm just going to have some thoughts and we're going to talk about what does it take to last. First thing on my mind is I think it takes some thick skin. I think it takes some thick skin, the ability to deal with the ups and the downs and the arrows that are shot at you with a person that says, I can't believe you're doing one of those things. Your Aunt Melba tried one of those 82 years ago. I tried one. It didn't work for me. What the hell do you think it's going to work for you? Whatever. The different, you're going to take some hits. Okay. And I'll also say this, the hits never stop coming. They don't. I mean, you'll be able to handle the hits in a different way. But there's always people that are naive, they're ignorant, they don't understand, they don't care to understand, and they have their opinions. And truth be told, most people that have a strong negative opinion about the network marketing business model or channel, they don't really fully understand it. But again, people are full of opinions, including myself. I have my opinion based on my own individual experience over a very long period of time. And I know people also that that run these blogs that are like anti-MLM blogs, and they were once network marketers and they just trash talk network marketing. But I think, like, if you're easily, if you get knocked down and you can't get back up, this is not for you. You got to be able to take, I don't like the word rejection in network marketing. I've reframed that. When somebody says no to you, they may verbalize no to you, but they're not truly rejecting you most of the time. So people always go, oh, I hate being rejected. Nobody likes being rejected. But, I think it's a matter of like reframing how, when somebody says no to you, instead of taking it personally, most of the time it's really about them. It's not their thing. They're not interested. It's not the right time for them. They don't see themselves doing it. Sometimes they're jealous that you're doing something and they're afraid. I mean, it could be any number of reasons. I'm not going to list all those out. But you got to have some thick skin, and, being able to, like, even like early on, I remember when I first got started in network marketing, like our mascot was the rhinoceros. Because, rhinoceroses, they cruise around and they're big and they don't mess with anybody. And, you can literally like shoot an arrow at a rhinoceros and their skin's like 3 inches thick and it won't even penetrate. So they can take arrows all day long. But like, the other thing is like, after you piss off a rhino, you're going to get the horn. So I'm not saying we go attack people or anything like that, but, you will, like, when you've achieved a level of success, and that success has been over an extended period of time, uh, and somebody comes to you with some ignorant, oh, network marketing doesn't work for anybody. Only the people at the top, only the first people in make, and you're like, well, shoot, man, I joined a company that was 25 years old and I'm making 80 grand a month and have been, making that on average for the last 6, 7 years. What are you talking about? They're totally wrong, but still they just don't get it, nor do they care to. So thick skin, number one. I guess, I don't know. I'll figure out if I number these. So, the second thing I'm thinking about is I think you need to fall in love with the fundamentals, the blocking, the tackling, the basics of doing this business, inviting, following up, prospecting, presenting, enrolling, launching, starting. I mean, what we do is pretty repetitious. It can get a little boring, right? Because you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. And if you end up finding yourself doing something and you keep changing things up and you're trying, and there's nothing wrong with trying new things. Like if something's not working, then go for it, try something different. Because if, we all know one of the definitions of insanity is doing the same thing repeatedly over and over again and expecting a different result. So yeah, if you're doing something and it's not working, most certainly, try it differently until it does work. But the things that we do every day, and the people that last in the business are people that just, they stick to the things that work. I got to invite people. I got to present. I got to put them in front of the information. I got to follow up with them, see how they felt about what they saw, get them signed up, get them started, work with them, mentor them, guide them, not to do it for them, get them going, help them get moving, continue to be supportive, being able to, help people through challenges, being able sometimes to see things in people that they don't see for themselves, seeing their potential when, otherwise nobody else is going to help them. So there's a number of things that we do, but I just think it's really important. Like I think successful people in the business, they just do those things more consistently and perhaps better than other people. And like if you really look at what we do, and I've said this many times on stages and other, I don't know, venues, I guess. Like if you look at multi-level marketing, network marketing, direct selling, whatever term you choose to use for it, we're not, like, what we do is not technically complex. Really isn't. I mean, there's a lot of things like, like AI is so prevalent. Like, can you imagine coding out, like, for like base coding out a GPT? I mean, a lot of people don't even know what a GPT is anyhow, but like creating artificial intelligence, all that had to go into creating artificial intelligence. I mean, I don't, or like, Elon with like making rockets. Like, I don't know. I mean, that seems pretty hard to me. That's like a lot of, I have a lot of smart people doing all that kind of stuff. I mean, all we do is we talk to people about how they can, improve the quality of their life through whatever thing that we're selling and how they can make more money if they choose to do so by participating in a cool business that they can work from their comfort of wherever they are on their own schedule. So I don't know that it's technically difficult, but a lot of times we make it more, oftentimes we make it harder on ourselves than we need to. So, the blocking, the tackling, the fundamentals, I think you do need to fall in love with the basics. And sometimes, like, even for me, like, I have to leave my office every now and then. Like, I'm here in this place. This is where I work, and I'm here. I'm all alone. I'm by myself. Now, I'm not like building a team. I train, but like but even if I was building, I'd pretty much be here all the time by myself, and I'm talking to people, and maybe I have meetings. But we're like solopreneurs, so sometimes to make it not seem so monotonous, it's a good idea to like get out. Like, even doing what I do, and I'll leave the house and go work at a coffee shop, one day a week or a couple days a week, and just for a couple hours, just to, you know, get out of the same thing sitting here all the time. So, but still doing the same. I mean, I'm doing the same thing. I'm just doing it someplace else. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm doing the work over at a Starbucks or something rather than right here. Just, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I need to do that. But yeah, definitely, you got to totally fall in love with the very basics, because most of what we do is pretty basic. I mean, we might get into a little bit more, I don't know, more in-depth stuff, like really understanding social media, and even that is just you doing you and putting content out. I mean, maybe I suppose if you got into like advertising and marketing, which most people don't get into, then there would be more learnings there. And that's, I mean, I wouldn't even, I don't even consider that the fundamentals. The fundamentals is, you know, writing down a list or, generating new, getting yourself in position to meet new people, talking to those people, exposing them to what you do, inviting them, putting them in front of something, following up, dealing with their questions, concerns, enrolling them, getting them started properly. I mean, that's like rinse and repeat over and over again. So if you can't fall in love with that stuff, then you got a problem. What's the next one? I think learning to lead, you got to be able to lead yourself before you can lead other people. So, like, again, we're talking about lasting here. That's like the subject matter for the day. So, if you can't lead yourself, how can you possibly lead other people? Like, if you can't lead yourself into sitting down right here at your desk and getting after it, and, if you can't figure out a way to manage your own mindset, your own calendar, your schedule, your habits, like you're never going to be able to lead other people. And even that is not, I don't think that's super hard. Maybe the mindset stuff, like that's, I suppose, a journey that we're all on. But like, it boggles my mind is like people are like, oh, I'm so bad at follow up, or I'm like, oh, I don't know how do I manage my leads? I'm like, dude, do you have a calendar? Like, how do you remember? Like, how do I remember to do? Because it's in my calendar. So if you can't manage your own calendar, your own mindset, keep yourself in control, your own schedule, your own habits, and put in your own effort, you're never going to be able to do that with other people. And you have to be, and this is like long. This is like the long game, not the short game. So it's not, you could probably figure out a way to do it for a week, but for a lifetime. But it's I don't know. To me, it's like simple management of my time and my schedule and my daily habits. But if you're going to last, you most certainly need to be able to do that. What else? I think the word, I'm trying to think of the right word for it. Evolve would be one word, but also I think your ability to stay, well, I guess both, your ability to evolve and to stay relevant. Even though, and I get asked this all the time, like, dude, you've been in network marketing for so long. I mean, it must be so different than when you started. And I'm like, well, no, not really. It's not. I'm like, no, not really. But what is different is the like this, like I'm on video right now. I mean, we got live videos and Zooms and Facebook lives and reels and shorts and social media and even like, email marketing and SMS marketing and like, those are all those are our tools that we now use to replace older tools that we either that were different before or we didn't have before. So I do think you definitely, again, the subject matter is, lasting. So if you're going to last, then you need to keep up with the times. And that doesn't mean like you need to be, I need to be Todd, the TikTok superstar. I'm not even on TikTok. I am clearly on social media and, pretty good on Facebook, I suppose. Mediocre on Instagram, pushing out content, probably only because I don't know, I choose to focus more on Facebook and other things and picking up the phone and talking to people. But, like somebody who, and who knows what's going to come and happen in the future. Something else is going to happen in the future. And it's like, okay, well, probably better figure out how to use that. Okay. For example, I've already mentioned it, AI. Seriously, if you're not, and I'm not going to get into the political discussion of the future, the demise of planet Earth or what may potentially happen as a result of artificial intelligence. I hope that doesn't happen. But AI is here. It can most certainly make your life easier at this point. It can enable you to get more done. I mean, it can do a lot of things for you. And if you're not using AI today, you're kind of getting behind. So you don't have to do, do 72 things in AI, but there's ways that you should be and could be utilizing AI today to grow your business. And if you're not, I think, again, you're not staying relevant. You're not evolving, if you will. And that could be a problem for you. And then that's just like one example of evolving. Like I had to evolve by, because I've been in for so long. Oh, email. What's that? Oh, the internet. Okay. Oh, we're not sending out a cassette tape anymore. We're not, oh, I can send a video. Oh, we can do live video. Oh, we can do live video across the world, whatever, so just, learning and adapting. Let's see. Uh, well, okay. I get it that some people come in for the money. A lot of people come in for the money, but I think the ability to last, you have to have I think you just have to have a bigger purpose. Like, why are you here? What are you doing? Like, if it's just to make money, it's so shallow. It's fine, but it's so shallow. I don't think it's like, because then what happens? It's kind of like, well, what happens when you start making money? Then, oh, well, I didn't really have a purpose. I'm making money. And then you go into management mode, the money disappears. It's kind of like a person. There's two types of motivation. There's like toward motivation and away from motivation. It's like toward motivation is like, I want to be fit. I want to be thin. I want to be healthy. Away from motivation is I don't want to be fat. And then when you're not fat anymore, because you were moving away from it, it's easy to go back to it. I won't get into the deep psychology of that, but it's most certainly anchoring yourself to a purpose that's bigger than just making the money. It's like, why am I doing this? It's like a friend of mine used to say, and it even goes back to like something that's pretty fundamental in network marketing, and which we do with brand new people. And you guys know this is like your why. Like, why are you doing this? And the why has to have like deep seated emotions with it. And that why shifts over time. It's not always the same. It's gonna shift over time. Like my buddy used to say, money has a why at the end of it. Why do you want to make so much money? It's like, what are you gonna do with it? So, oh, for sure, this one, patience, patience. Man, you know, patience and expectations. Like you must, both short term and long term, be able to adjust your expectations, be able to have patience, knowing that, Rome wasn't built in a day. I know I sound cliche. It's going to take time for people, volume, skills, sales to accumulate. And to adjust your expectations that if you don't meet what you think is where you should be at a particular time, that you feel defeated and discouraged, because defeated, discouraged, frustrated leads to quitting. And then, you shouldn't even watch this video because you ain't lasting, right? So, the whole purpose of this is lasting. So, a lot of people come in and they think that they should be someplace much further along than they are, and they're not. And so they bail. And even myself, like 2 years into my first venture, I thought I'd be making like 10 grand a month in 90 days. I wasn't making nothing in 90 days. And, I think about like, why did I stay? Because a lot of people all around me, left and right, were quitting. I don't know. I think, I wanted to be successful. I was super green. I was like, okay, well, if that person can do it, maybe I can do it. If she can do it, maybe I can do it. From what I see here, looks like people do pretty well. Looks like, I don't know, there's something here. And I wanted what was here. And so I stayed in, focused on the right activities, adjusted my expectations, did it for long enough to finally, you know, have happen what I wanted to have happen. And a lot of people either don't do the work. They don't ever really get started. They kid themselves into thinking they're working, but they're really not working. And then if they are working, then they're not doing, I mean, let's say they are doing the right work. Maybe they're doing, meaning revenue focused production, all that stuff. But then they're not doing it for long enough because their expectations were out of whack, and then they're gone. And so there's no opportunity to last. When if you don't adjust your expectations, you're just out of luck. I was going to say SOL. That's something my dad would probably say, but I don't know. Lastly, and this isn't the end all be all. I'm just like giving some thoughts today. I think you need to be able to recommit often. So you know, we're talking the long haul. The long haul. I'm talking about like making this a lifelong career for yourself, where you're not a one-hit wonder or you lucked out and then you can't do it again. And you know, we go through waves, right? You know, you're in personal primary focus production mode. Hopefully you never fall into management mode, but even as I say that, a lot of people do. But if you can snap yourself out of management mode, get yourself back into production mode, recommit, set some new goals. Okay, time to rebuild. I mean, most networkers that have been in the game for any period of time have had to rebuild multiple times. Ups and downs, there's cycles. If you think the run is going to last forever, I'll do another video on this soon. I actually did a pretty lengthy Facebook post about this recently. If you think the run's going to last forever, you are wrong. It don't last forever. It would be great if it did. I'm talking about the vertical run, right? Your check's going and doubling and doubling and doubling. It can't double forever. Or even if it doesn't double, can't go increase by $5,000 a month forever. I mean, at some point, you know, something's going to happen. Most of the time, it's the person starts making so much money that they go into management mode, and they're like, "Oh, I mean, how much more do I need?" And then they, you know, I'll save the rest of that for another video. But you know, I mean, I've seen hundreds and hundreds of people come and go, probably thousands of people come and go. People that made noise for a second, moved, you know, shot up fast, bailed. You know, it's like they just didn't have. You got to see yourself to the finish line and know this is a marathon, and you should sprint in the marathon. Sprint, take a couple breaths, catch your breath, get back after it. But this is not a 50-yard race. I mean, it could be if you're like, hey, I'm cool for being here for 2 weeks and then I'm gone. But that's not. I mean, you might as well not come here if that's your thought process. So I just think that. If you're going to last, you got to make the decision. I'm here. Like, that's another thing. I can go back right to the beginning. For me personally, I made the decision that I was going to do this thing until I won. And like, I had to radically adjust my expectations because I most certainly wasn't meeting my own expectations that I set upon myself. And one thing I did do early on is like, I'm going to do this. And I'm green, like so green. Like my jobs were nothing up until that point. I had no business experience, no entrepreneurial experience. And I wish I could go back to that earlier version of myself and go, hey man, what was it? Like, I mean, I can kind of think back about like why I stayed. I mean, I grew up super broke. My family was broke. I heard we can't afford it all the time. And then I just saw something that I felt that network marketing was providing. I don't know. I mean, the idea of like no boss and unlimited earnings and work when you want and residual income and leverage and all those things made sense to me. And so I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to plant my flag. I'm going to do this until I figure it out. And it took me a while, but because I made the decision, because I had patience, and probably only because I adjusted my expectations, I'm still here today. So anyhow, just some thoughts from somebody who's been here for a long time. Hopefully you found this useful. If you're on my podcast, what's up, you podcasters? If you're on my YouTube, hey, YouTube. The conversation, I always love to hear from you guys. Come on over here, toddfalcone.com/episode 326. That's this episode you're watching or listening to right now. TODDFALCONE.com/episode 326. We'll see you.